Okay, people, my possible motion picture deal is still alive, so I'm going to redo my video bio anyway. It's 1954, I'm 10 years old, and I'm about to start bowling. That's right. Ovington Lanes, Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. What a great house that was at the time. I mean, became old-fashioned very shortly when the new big modern houses came in, but then, let me tell you, 12 lanes on the main floor, 12 lanes downstairs in the basement, a big full bar upstairs, a big full luncheonette, and then the top floor. A great pool room. Oliver Laurie was the manager, big name pool shooter, action up there. You name it, it was there. So anyway, my father was good friends with the owner, and I was able to come in every day and bowl for free. I lived right around the corner, I mean 1 minute. And the biggest thrill I ever had in this old house with pin boys, hard conditions, was the first time I broke 100. Let me tell you, I was like, oh. Okay, so anyway, let's jump ahead 3 years. I'm 13 years old. It's 1957. I'm subbing for my father in a bowling league, and well, you know, he really kind of liked to drink in the bar most of the time, and I was actually shooting very good, about 175, 172, something like that. In a house like this, that was really, let me tell you. But anyway, the top shooter in the house was this young kid, older than me, 17 or 18 years old. He was a pin chaser there by the name of Jimmy Nolan. Well, let me tell you something. He threw this big winding hook, which was kind of unusual for those days. Powerful ball, and nobody, but let me tell you something, nobody could bowl him at Ovington. I mean, he would just rip up anybody that ever walked into the house. League night. I'm actually shooting, I think I was shooting leadoff, not anchor. We're bowling the first place team, which was Jimmy Nolan's team. In order for us to take first, we had to win all 3 games. P.S. I shoot very good that night, and we take all 3 games. Jimmy is, well, he's Irish and he's got a hot head. My father's Scandinavian, he's got a hot head. Anyway, they got into a battle of the words. And my father tells him, I'll bowl him. Jimmy, I'm not in Jimmy's class. But anyway, my father was smart enough to know that Ovington, even though it was the only house I ever bowled in, it was my home lanes, but it still wasn't a place to bowl Jimmy Nolan. We go up to Lee Mark Lanes, this beautiful, brand new establishment up on 88th Street and 5th Avenue. Well, I was never in a house like this. I was never in any house but Ovington. My knees were, I mean, I can't tell you how nervous I was. I thought my father was crazy. I never bowled for really money before. $50, 3 games. $50 was more than most grown men made for a week's pay at that time. So that was a lot of money. Anyway, we get up there. We throw some practice balls, and the house actually felt pretty easy compared to Ovington. I couldn't believe it. The first ball, my knees were shaking so much, I dropped it and the ball accidentally struck. Jimmy hit the pocket and left a big split, and that kind of took the pressure off. P.S. I shoot 3 games like I've never shot before. My first game was a 277, came back like with a 258 and then a 230 something. Well, P.S. I win the match. And my father gives me 100 singles, $50, the whole 50 that I won on the match, plus $50 from the league. Well, the next day, for the first time, I went into this other brand new house in my neighborhood, Avenue M Bowl. And let me tell you something. I walked in with that big roll in my pocket, with my ace bowling ball, a black and white. Back then, they had this big King of the Hill thing at Neptune Lanes. The very top bowlers, the top professional bowlers at the time, whether it be Don Carter, Dick Weber, whoever, would bowl every Saturday, and if they won, they'd keep bowling until they lost. And it was on black lanes there, and they bowled with white balls. So anyway, I walked in with this black and white ball that I had bought, very hardcore ball, and I was just a king. Let me tell you something. I can't tell you the feeling when I walked into this house for the first time.